Henry VIII is remembered for his 6 wives and ruthless power, but one chilling tale whispered in court was that he once dined with the dead. Chroniclers wrote of a lavish midnight feast where Henry, drunk with wine, demanded that past kings join him. Servants later swore that spectral figures appeared at the long oak table in Hampton Court, shadowy kings of England, their crowns dulled, their faces pale. Whether a hallucination or the paranoia of a guilty conscience, the tale haunted courtiers. To them it was a warning: no king, however powerful, escapes the judgment of those who came before. Dutiful, stern, and always draped in black, Queen Victoria is rarely imagined as daring, but in truth, she bore a tattoo on her body. When traveling to the Isle of Wight, Victoria was fascinated by sailors' ink and had a discreet design etched on her skin. It was said to be a small, delicate image, never publicly revealed. For the Victorians, tattoos were scandalous, seen as marks of criminals or vagabonds. That their queen secretly carried one was astonishing, proof that beneath her public image of strict morality, she harbored a private, rebellious streak. In 1440, a gruesome event at Edinburgh Castle became one of the bloodiest royal betrayals. Known as the Black Dinner, it saw young nobles invited by the Scottish crown to a feast, only to have a black bull's head, symbol of death, placed before them. Within moments, they were dragged outside and executed. Centuries later, this true event inspired George R.R. Martin's infamous Red Wedding. It remains one of the darkest reminders that royal courts, behind their music and wine, could turn into killing grounds in an instant. Elizabeth I faced countless assassination plots, daggers, poisoned food, even snipers. But one of the strangest tales involves a dress. It was said that an enemy sent her a gown laced with poison, fine threads soaked in deadly venom. If worn, it would have killed her slowly through the skin. Though the dress was intercepted before Elizabeth ever wore it, the legend reflects the paranoia of her reign, a queen beset not only by armies but by silent, unseen killers. Even fashion in the Tudor court could be deadly. After the Battle of Worcester in 1651, Charles II was a fugitive, hunted by Oliver Cromwell's soldiers. The king's escape was so desperate that he hid inside an oak tree for hours as patrols searched the forest around him. That tree, later called the Royal Oak, became a symbol of his survival. To this day, pubs, ships, and even songs honor the oak that sheltered a king. Imagine the scene: a monarch pressed against bark, holding his breath, while soldiers rode just below his hiding place. A king reduced to prey, saved only by leaves and shadows.
2 young princes, Edward V and his brother Richard, were locked inside the Tower of London in 1483. They were the rightful heirs, yet they vanished. Many believed their uncle, Richard III, ordered their deaths to seize the crown. Others argued they lived in secret. Their disappearance remains one of England's darkest mysteries. Every stone of the tower whispers with their absence, and even today the fate of the lost princes lingers like a wound in history. Were they murdered, or did they escape into obscurity? The truth may forever be buried in the tower's cold walls. King Charles II believed in the healing power of royal touch. It was said his hands could cure scrofula, a disease of the skin. Desperate subjects would line up for hours hoping for a miracle. Charles would touch them, sometimes giving a gold coin as a charm. Science has long dismissed it as superstition, but for thousands, the king was a living saint. It shows how monarchy blurred the line between politics and faith. Kings were not only rulers, but seen as vessels of divine power. During renovations at Windsor Castle in the 19th century, workers discovered a hidden skeleton walled up in stone. Some whispered it was a servant who had betrayed royal secrets, entombed alive as punishment. Others believed it to be a forgotten prisoner who starved in the darkness. The crown quickly silenced the discovery, but rumors spread. Was the monarchy hiding a medieval crime? The mystery remains unsolved, another ghostly shadow beneath royal grandeur. Catherine the Great of Russia once dressed as a man to ride freely among her troops, but less known is that Britain's Queen Mary II is also said to have disguised herself. In a rare act of rebellion, she dressed as a commoner and walked the streets of London to hear what her people thought of her reign. For a queen confined by ceremony, the freedom of anonymity must have been intoxicating. Perhaps for a few hours, she was not a monarch, but a woman, free among her subjects. When King Richard I, the Lionheart, died, his body was buried in one place, but his heart was taken elsewhere. Preserved and carried in a small, ornate casket, it was secretly buried in Rouen Cathedral in France. For centuries it lay hidden, until archaeologists rediscovered it, a shriveled relic of flesh encased in dust and metal. Why separate body and heart? Perhaps to symbolize his divided soul. A king of England, but a crusader who loved France. It remains one of the strangest royal burials in history.